The first crack. Hey, night listener. Tonight we enter the shadows. The rain pelts against the windows, its rhythmic pattering blending with the occasional distant rumble of thunder. The dim glow from the streetlight outside flickers, casting eerie shadows across the room, turning corners into dark recesses, hiding things from view. The air is thick, humid, damp, full of the tension only a storm can bring. You sit there in the dark, eyes glued to the screen, heart beating a little too fast. Maybe it's the weather, or maybe it's because of the text you received earlier. I know what you did. Meet me where it all started. Your thumb hovers over the reply button, but your fingers tremble. You've been through this before the mystery. The secrets, but this feels different. You glance over at her picture, the one from years ago, when things felt easier. Her smile was always bright, even in the shadows, like she was hiding something. But you never thought to ask. You never thought to look deeper. But now, you can't shake the feeling that everything you thought you knew about her, the woman you thought was the victim, was a lie. What if she's been lying to you this whole time? You tap out a quick response, where seconds pass. Then a notification pops up. It's her. You can feel the adrenaline rush through you, a flood of heat that raises your pulse. You've heard her voice in your mind too many times, but this time, there's a different edge to it, something unsettling. Her reply is brief. The place you promised you'd never go. Your breath catches in your throat, your eyes narrowing as you stare at the message. You know exactly where that is. The same place you swore you'd never return to. The place where everything started and everything ended. The woman you thought you knew is about to shatter the calm, and you're not sure you're ready for the truth, but you have no choice. You never really did. The meeting place. You stand there for a moment, staring at your phone, your fingers gripping it like it might slip out of your hands. The message looms in your mind, and the feeling of dread rises in your chest like a storm swelling just beneath the surface. The place where it all started. It's a small, old apartment building on the outskirts of town. You haven't been there in years, but the memories still linger, dark and sharp. You hesitate. Your mind races, but your body is frozen, as if locked in place by the gravity of everything you've been trying to avoid. The woman you thought was the victim, the one you've spent all this time trying to protect, she's the one pulling the strings now, and she's not who you thought she was. With a sigh, you shove your phone into your pocket and turn toward the door. The weight of the decision is crushing, but you know, there's no turning back now. You have to go. The night outside is cold and wet, the streets slick with rain, the faint glow from the streetlights casting long shadows that seem to stretch and shift with every step you take. Your footsteps echo in the silence as you walk, the storm still rumbling faintly overhead, like the ominous hum of an approaching train. Your mind flashes back to that time, the time when you didn't see the cracks, the time when everything seemed perfect. She was the victim, and you were the one trying to fix it. You were the knight in shining armor, but the cracks are there now. You see them clearly. You take a deep breath and quicken your pace, the apartment building growing closer with every step. It's not much more than a few stories of crumbling bricks, old windows, and dim lights. The door is locked, but you know the code. You always did. It's the same as it was back then. The door opens with a groan, and you step into the stale, musty air of the building's lobby. The smell hits you like a wall-old wood, stale air, a trace of mildew. You hadn't remembered how heavy it felt, but as you make your way up the stairs, your feet moving slowly, your pulse quickens. It's like you never left. You reach the door, the one you swore you'd never open again. It's the same, but different now. There's a heaviness to it, a foreboding that wasn't there before, a subtle change that makes your chest tighten. With a trembling hand, you knock, you wait. The seconds stretch out, each one feeling longer than the last. You can feel the sweat forming on the back of your neck, a coldness creeping into your skin. And then there she is, the woman you thought was the victim. Her smile is the same, but there's something hollow behind it, something dark. Her eyes are too still, too knowing, and it makes your stomach drop. You came, she says softly, her voice like a velvet blade, cutting through the tension. You nod, but you can't speak. The words are trapped somewhere deep inside you, where you buried them long ago. The guilt, the fear, the questions, they all come rushing back. You always knew, she continues, her eyes locking onto yours, making your chest tighten. You knew, but you pretended you didn't. The door creaks open a little more, and you're standing there, face to face with the woman who's been haunting you for years. But this time, you don't see a victim. You see something else, something darker. Come in, she says, her voice low. We have a lot to talk about. You step over the threshold, the weight of the door closing behind you like the final click of a trap. The truth behind the door. The door shuts with a finality that echoes in your chest. The apartment is dim, lit only by a few scattered lamps, casting pools of yellow light across the cracked wooden floor. The air is thick with dust, and the faint smell of old cigarette smoke lingers in the corners. This place feels abandoned, as if it's been untouched for years. And yet, it's not empty. She's here. You watch her move across the room, her presence filling the space. Every step she takes seems deliberate, calculated. Her eyes never leave you, not for a second, as though she's measuring every inch of you, reading you like an open book. But you've read her, too. You know this game. You've played it for years. She stops at the small table near the window, one of the few things in the room that isn't covered in dust. There's a bottle of wine on the table, the glass half empty, and a single glass beside it. She picks it up, swirling it slowly, and then glances back at you. You look the same, she says, her voice smooth, almost affectionate, but there is something cold behind it, like a knife beneath the surface. I thought maybe time would change you, but I see I was wrong. You don't respond right away. Instead, you glance around the room, your eyes scanning the familiar yet unsettling surroundings. It's the same as it was before, when you were both here together, before everything fell apart. The room hasn't changed, but the weight of it all feels different now. The walls feel closer, the air feels heavier, and then you remember the photograph, the one that always sat on the mantel, of the two of you smiling in front of that broken window. It's gone. The mantel is bare, except for the wine glass. You try to ignore the unease crawling under your skin. What do you want from me? You ask, your voice steady but strained. She raises an eyebrow, amusement flickering in her eyes. She takes a slow sip from the glass, watching you over the rim. What do I want? She tilts her head, as though considering the question for the first time. I think the real question is, what do you want? The words cut through you, sharp and unexpected, and suddenly the room feels even smaller. Her gaze is heavy, too knowing, like she sees through everything, through the walls you've built, through the lies you've told yourself. You clench your fists at your sides, trying to keep your composure. I don't want anything from you, you say, forcing the words out. I just need to know what you've been hiding. She steps closer, her heels clicking softly on the floor with each step, but her eyes stay locked on yours. Hiding, she repeats, and her lips curl into a smile that's as cold as it is cruel. I haven't been hiding anything. You have. You've been hiding from the truth for years, pretending you didn't know what was really going on. The air in the room seems to thicken, and for a moment, you can't breathe. The words sink in, and a cold wave of realization washes over you. You knew, didn't you? You always knew, but you didn't want to face it. You didn't want to see what was right in front of you, because it would have shattered everything. The victim you thought you were protecting, the one you promised you'd help, she's been playing you from the start. I've been protecting you, you whisper, the words barely escaping your lips. She lets out a soft laugh, as if your words amuse her. No, she says, her voice quiet but full of a dark amusement. You've been protecting yourself all this time. You've been pretending. You've been lying. And you still don't want to face the truth. You take a step back, your mind reeling, but her words cut through you, pinning you in place. You don't know the truth. You mutter, more to yourself than to her, but she's already moving closer, her presence overwhelming. Don't I? Her voice is a whisper now, like a secret shared between the two of you. I know everything. I've always known, and I've been waiting for you to catch up. Her eyes burn into you, and for a moment, the room seems to spin. You can feel the air pressing down on you, suffocating you. You've been living a lie. And the worst part, you've been living it with her. Suddenly, the weight of everything crashes down on you. You've been running from the truth for so long, but it's standing right in front of you now. The woman you thought was the victim, the woman you tried to protect. She's been the one controlling everything, and she's not done with you. She steps back, her fingers trailing along the back of the chair at the table, her smile widening. You're still in the dark, aren't you? She says softly. You don't understand yet, but you will. You'll see it all soon enough. The words hang in the air, like a promise or a threat, but you're too far in now to back away. You've crossed the line, and the truth is too close to ignore. She walks to the window, glancing out at the city below. I've waited a long time for this moment, a long time for you to finally see the truth. Your stomach churns. What truth, you ask? Your voice barely above a whisper. She turns back to face you, her eyes gleaming with something darker. The truth that you've been blind to all along. The truth that will break everything you thought you knew. And once you see it, you'll wish you never asked. You swallow hard, your chest tightening as the reality of it all begins to settle in. The truth is here, waiting for you, but you can't unsee it, and you can't go back. You've been living in her shadow, and now the cracks are starting to show. The weight of the lies. The room grows colder, the silence between you and her settling like a thick fog. Every word she speaks seems to land heavier, each syllable adding another weight to your chest. You can feel the tension building, wrapping around you, squeezing the breath from your lungs. She's not who you thought she was. She never was. You take a step back, your mind racing as the realization sinks in. You thought you were the one investigating the truth, the one trying to piece together the broken parts of the story. But now it feels as if you've been a pawn all along, a puppet in her game, dancing to her tune without even knowing it. You still don't get it, do you? Her voice cuts through the silence, sharp and clear. You think I've been playing you, but it's been the other way around. You've been playing yourself. I've been waiting for you to figure it out. Your heart pounds in your chest as you try to make sense of what she's saying. You've been playing yourself. It doesn't make sense. She's the one who lied to you. She's the one. one who kept the truth hidden. She's the one who disappeared, leaving you to clean up the mess she left behind. Stop, you say, your voice trembling. Stop lying to me. I trusted you. I thought I was helping you. Her eyes flicker with something dark, something you can't quite place. You thought you were helping me? She laughs softly, the sound bitter. No, darling, you were helping yourself. You've been protecting your own guilt, your own darkness. I'm just the mirror that shows you what you've been running from. You stumble backward, the air feeling thinner with each word she speaks. The walls feel like they're closing in around you, and the room seems to spin as the weight of everything crashes into you all at once. Guilt, the word hangs in the air, twisting inside your chest like a knife. You want to deny it, but you can't. The truth has always been there, buried beneath the surface, and now it's coming to light in the most painful way. What do you want from me? You whisper, your voice barely audible. She takes a slow step forward, her gaze unwavering. I don't want anything from you, she says softly, almost gently. I want you to face what you've done. I want you to see who you really are. Your breath catches in your throat as the words settle in. Who you really are. You don't want to see it. You don't want to look into the darkness she's forcing you to confront. But you know you have to. You're not the victim. You say, your voice cracking as the truth slithers from your lips. You never were. She smiles, but it's not a smile of triumph. It's something darker, something resigned. No, I wasn't. But you've been the one in the dark, haven't you? You've been the one living in a lie, and you're the one who's going to break. The words feel like a punch, and you stagger back, your head spinning as the weight of her words sinks in. Break. She's right. You're already broken. You've been shattered, piece by piece, for years. And now, it's all crashing down. I didn't mean to hurt anyone, you whisper, your voice breaking. I just wanted to help. I didn't know. I didn't know what I was walking into. Her eyes narrow, her expression hardening. You never knew, because you didn't want to. You didn't want to see the truth because you were afraid of what it would do to you. But now, there's no hiding. The cracks have shown through. She steps closer, her presence overwhelming, suffocating you. The air in the room feels too thick, too heavy, like it's pressing against you from all sides. You try to speak, but your words are tangled, caught in the rising panic. You want to run, but your feet are rooted to the spot. You want to scream, but the truth silences you. She stands before you, her gaze unblinking, as though she's already won. You've been running from yourself for so long, haven't you? Hiding behind your guilt, your fear, your need to protect the lies you've built. But now, the cracks have broken through, and there's no more hiding. Her words hit you like a hammer, each one shattering another part of the illusion you've built. The woman you thought was a victim is the one who's been controlling everything. The victim, the villain, the manipulator. It was never about her. It was always about you. She steps back, the distance between you widening. The truth is a mirror, she says quietly, almost wistfully, and it always reflects the darkness you've been hiding. You stand there, stunned, unable to move, as the weight of everything crashes down on you. You've been trapped in this web of lies for so long, and now it's all unraveling. You can't escape, but maybe, for the first time, you don't want to. The final revelation. The room feels colder now, the silence growing thicker with every passing second. Her presence lingers like a shadow, and you can feel it pressing against you, smothering you. She's standing there, watching you, but for the first time, it doesn't feel like you're the one in control. You're the one exposed, vulnerable, caught in a web of lies and truth. Her words have shattered something inside you, a part of you that was already broken, but now it's raw, like an open wound. You've spent years convincing yourself you were the protector, the one who was saving her. But the truth is, you've been protecting yourself all along, protecting your own guilt, your own fear of what might happen if you ever let the truth out. And now, the truth is here. It's in her eyes. It's in the air between you. And it's so much darker than you ever thought possible. You can't hide anymore, she says, her voice cutting through the stillness like a blade. You've been running from yourself, running from what you've done, but it's all catching up to you now. You can feel your chest tightening, your breath coming in short, shallow gasps. The air feels thick, like it's pressing in on you, suffocating you. You want to scream, to say something, anything, to make it stop, but the words are stuck in your throat, choking you. I never wanted to hurt anyone. You finally managed to say, your voice barely a whisper. I didn't know. Her eyes narrow, a flicker of something dark crossing her face. You knew. You knew exactly what you were doing. Her words are like nails on a chalkboard, and they burrow deep into your mind, digging up all the things you've tried so hard to bury. The lies, the betrayals, the manipulation. It was all there, all along, and now you can't escape it. I tried to fix it, you say, your voice cracking. I thought if I just kept pretending, everything would be okay. I thought I could protect you. You thought you could protect yourself. She interrupts, her voice cold, but there's something almost sad in her tone. You've always been protecting yourself, hiding behind the lies you've told. And now, here we are. Her words sting, like a slap across the face. You want to fight back, to deny everything she's saying, but you know she's right. Deep down, you've always known. The silence stretches between you, and for the first time, you feel the weight of everything you've done, the decisions you've made, the people you've hurt, the lies you've told yourself, pretending it was all for the greater good, but it wasn't. It was for you. She steps closer now, her eyes never leaving yours. You're not the hero in this story. You never were. You were just a man hiding behind a lie, trying to make yourself feel better. And you failed. You failed her. You failed yourself. Her words hit you like a punch to the gut. And for a moment, the world tilts. Your mind spins. The truth flooding in so fast, you can barely keep up with it. The woman you thought was the victim, the one you promised to protect, she wasn't the one who needed saving. You were. The weight of your actions presses down on you, suffocating you, and you realize there's nowhere left to hide. You've known this all along, but now it's finally sinking in. You can't outrun the truth. You can't hide from it anymore. She's right. You failed. She reaches for something on the table, beside her a small black box, and sets it in front of you. Open it, she says, her voice low and almost curious. You think you've seen the truth, but there's one more thing you haven't discovered yet. You hesitate, your hand hovering over the box. Something about it feels off, like it holds the final piece to this twisted puzzle, the piece that will destroy everything you thought you knew. But you can't stop yourself. You open the box. Inside, there's a photograph, the same one from years ago, the one of the two of you, smiling, before everything fell apart. But this photograph is different. The woman in the picture isn't you. It's her. You look up at her, confused, your mind racing. What is this? She smiles. but it's a smile of finality, of closure. This is where the story really ends, the truth you've been hiding from. Your mind reels. The picture is an illusion, a lie. You were never the one who was protecting her. She was the one protecting you. And in that final moment, when everything you thought you knew shatters, you realize the lies were never hers. They were yours. And with that realization, you understand that you've been trapped in your own prison of guilt and shame, the one you built brick by brick with your own hands. You've been chasing a story that wasn't yours to tell, living a lie that's finally been exposed. The truth isn't just a confession, it's a prison you've been living in for far too long. And now, there's nowhere left to run. You drop the photograph, your hands shaking, and step back. The walls feel like they're closing in on you. The door is still there, but the escape you've been searching for doesn't exist anymore. The woman watches you, her gaze cold and final. You wanted to be the hero, she says softly. But the truth is, there's no hero in the story. There never was. You stand there, caught in the final moment, the truth pressing against you like the weight of 1,000 regrets. And as you stand there, facing the woman who was never the victim, you realize this is your consequence. The truth has cracked you wide open, and now there's no more pretending. The breaking point. The room feels tighter now, as if the walls themselves are closing in, suffocating you under the weight of everything you've just realized. The photograph lies discarded on the floor, the truth staring up at you from the cracked image. Her, not you. She stands there, watching you, her expression one of cold detachment, as though she's seen this all before. She's seen the moment when the truth hits, when the mask finally slips, and the guilt washes over you like a tidal wave. You're beginning to understand now, she says quietly, her voice almost gentle, but there's no warmth in it. The lies we tell ourselves, they always have a way of catching up with us. You want to deny it. You want to shout at her, to scream that she's wrong, but the words won't come. The truth is too heavy, too suffocating. You've been living in a prison of your own making, and now the bars have melted away, leaving you exposed. I didn't mean for it to happen, you say, your voice raw and weak. I never meant to hurt anyone. She doesn't respond at first, her gaze unwavering as she steps closer to you, her presence filling the room like a shadow. For a brief moment, you think you see something flicker in her eyes, something that might be pity, but it's gone as quickly as it came. You didn't mean to, she repeats, her voice soft, almost mocking. That's always the excuse, isn't it? You didn't mean to, but you did. And now, it's too late to take it back. The words strike you like a slap. It's too late. You wanted to fix everything, didn't you? You thought that if you just kept pretending, if you just kept playing the part of the hero, everything would work out. But it hasn't. It never will. The lies are too deep, too ingrained in you. And now, they've finally caught up with you. I thought you were the victim. You whisper, barely able to speak the words, as if saying them out loud would make the reality too unbearable. She laughs, a low, hollow sound that sends a chill through your body. You always thought that, didn't you? You always thought that I was the one you needed to save. But the truth is, I've been saving you. The words hit you like a punch, knocking the wind out of you. You stare at her, unable to speak, unable to move. How could she say that? How could she claim that she's been saving you the entire time? You thought you were the one keeping her safe, keeping her from falling into the darkness. But now the roles have reversed. Now, it's you who's been living in the dark. You were always so sure of yourself, so sure you were the good guy, she continues. Her voice almost sad now, but it was never about good or bad. It was always about control. The word hits you like a cold slap. Control. You've spent your whole life trying to control everything, haven't you? Trying to control the truth, trying to control the people around you. But in the end, it was always out of your hands. The more you tried to control, the more you lost. And now, standing in front of her, you realize the truth. You were never in control. You were just pretending. She steps closer, her face inches from yours now, and for a moment, you think you might suffocate under the weight of her presence. You can't fix this. You can't undo what's been done. You step back, your legs shaking, your breath shallow. The weight of her words presses down on you like a ton of bricks, crushing you under their heaviness. The guilt, the regret, it's too much to bear. You've been pretending to be someone you're not, pretending that you were the hero, when all along you were the villain. Her eyes flicker with something unreadable, something cold, and she steps back, giving you space to breathe, space to process. But the words she's left hanging in the air are like chains. You can't shake them off. You'll never be able to run from this, she says quietly, almost thoughtfully. You'll carry it with you for the rest of your life. The truth is always there. It never leaves. The finality in her voice is chilling, but there's something else too, a strange sense of relief. You realize, in that moment, that the weight of all the lies, the guilt, the secrecy has been lifted. It's not gone, but it's out in the open now. You've faced it, and now there's no more pretending. She turns toward the door, but before she leaves, she looks back at you one last time. You'll be fine, she says, her voice softer now, almost kind, but you'll never be the same. You watch her walk out, the sound of her footsteps fading into the distance. The door clicks shut behind her, and the silence that follows feels like a weight lifted, but also like a new chapter has begun. The truth is here. The truth has always been here, and now you have to live with it. The question is, what will you do with it now? The weight of change. The door clicks shut behind her, but her presence lingers in the room, the tension still hanging heavy in the air. The silence feels louder now, as if the walls are pressing in on you, holding you captive in a moment that you can never escape. You feel like you've been standing in the same place for hours, your body frozen, your mind racing, but you can't move. You don't know where to go from here. You've always prided yourself on being in control. You've built your life around it, carefully constructing the perfect story, the perfect narrative of who you are and who you were. But now, it feels like everything is crumbling. The walls you've put up, the masks you've worn, the lies you've told, they're all coming down. You thought you could outrun the truth. You thought you could keep pretending, keep hiding from the things you've done, but you can't anymore. It's out in the open, and there's no way to take it back. The damage is done. You finally move, your legs shaky beneath you as you walk across the room. You glance down at the floor, at the broken pieces of the photograph, the ones you've discarded. The truth is in those pieces, scattered across the floor like shattered glass, and as much as you try to avoid it, you know you have to pick it up, piece by piece. You have to face it. You crouch down, your hands trembling as you gather the pieces. Each one is a memory, a moment you thought you could forget. The photograph you thought you had left behind is here again, its edges frayed, its surface cracked. But it's not the photograph that's important. It's what it represents, the lies. You've been living in a house of lies, built on the foundation of your own guilt and fear. But now, with the truth in your hands, you can't pretend anymore. You can't ignore what you've done, the damage you've caused, the people you've hurt. The woman, the one you thought was the victim, was never the one you needed to save. She's not the one who needed your protection. You were the one who was broken. You were the one who was hiding from the truth. And now, you have to face it. You stand up, holding the pieces of the photograph in your hands. You don't know what to do with them, but you can't let them go. The image of her face, the way it used to look before everything changed, stares back at you. But it's not the same now. The cracks in the photo are like the cracks in your own mind, the fractures in your own identity. You know what you have to do. The question is, can you do it? You walk to the window, the city lights flickering outside, the storm now just a memory in the distance. The world looks different now, almost alien, as though you're seeing it for the first time. The rain has stopped, but the air is still thick, heavy with the weight of everything you've just uncovered. The truth is like a weight on your chest, but it's not suffocating you anymore. It's grounding you, forcing you to face the reality of who you are, who you've always been. You can't run from it anymore. The lies are behind you, scattered in pieces on the floor. The truth is all that's left, and it's the one thing you can't escape. You take a deep breath, steadying yourself as you face the future. It won't be easy. It won't be simple. But you know one thing for sure. You can never go back. You turn away from the window and walk toward the door, the weight of the truth still heavy in your chest. But now, it's a part of you. You don't know what comes next, but you know you have to face it. The woman was right. You'll never be the same. But maybe that's okay. Maybe this is the beginning of something new. The final choice. The door is right there in front of you, standing open, waiting. You can feel the cool air from the hallway creeping in, mixing with the stifling heaviness of the room behind you. You take a step toward it, but before you can reach the handle, you hesitate. Something stops you. You're not sure what it is. Maybe it's the weight of everything you've learned tonight. Maybe it's the fear of what lies beyond that door. After all, if you leave this room, leave this place where the truth has been laid bare, you're stepping into a world you've tried to avoid, a world of consequences, a world of responsibility. But you've always known, haven't you? You've always known that you couldn't hide forever. The walls have already come down. The mask is off. The lies have been exposed. There's nowhere left to run. You turn around, facing the room again, the apartment that has held you captive for so long. The room looks different now. The shadows that once felt comforting now feel oppressive. The silence that once felt safe now feels suffocating. Everything is suffused with the weight of the truth. You look down at the scattered pieces of the photograph. The woman's smile, once so full of promise, is now nothing but a distant memory, a reflection of the lie you've been living. You could leave this room, step back into the world and pretend that none of this happened. You could close the door behind you and walk away from the truth, but you know you won't. You can't. The past is always there, buried deep inside of you, and no matter how hard you try to escape it, it always comes back. So, you don't leave. You face it. You have no other choice. You step back toward the table, the key still lying there, the one she handed you, the one that opened the door to this room of truth. It's cold in your hand, and you wonder for a moment if it's heavy with your past or your future. You don't know yet. You slip the key into your pocket and turn toward the door again. You can hear your heartbeat now, echoing in your ears. You feel the pulse of the world outside, the city that keeps moving, the people who are living their lives without knowing what you've learned tonight. The door is still open, but now it's a different kind of invitation. It's the invitation to face the consequences, It's the invitation to embrace the reality of everything you've done and everything you still have to face. You have to face her. You push the door open fully now, stepping into the hallway. It feels different this time. The air is thinner, fresher, but it's also full of the weight of the decision you've just made. There's no going back. The truth has been laid bare, and the only choice you have now is what you do with it. You step out into the hallway, your steps slower than they were before, the floor beneath you creaking with every movement. You don't know what you expect to find, but you know that you're not ready for the weight of it. The woman's lies have cracked, but your own truth is still waiting for you to confront it. Your eyes scan the hallway, but there's no one there, just shadows and silence, like the rest of the world has faded away. You walk down the hall, but each step feels heavier. The building creaks and groans around you, almost as though it's alive, watching you, judging you. You don't stop, though. You can't. You reach the exit, the door that leads out into the night, into the unknown. It's the door that leads back to the world where the truth doesn't matter, the world where you can go back to pretending that things are okay. But you're not going back. The key in your pocket feels like a weight, a reminder of everything you've uncovered, and you know you'll never be the same. You push open the door, the cool air of the outside night wrapping around you. The streetlights flicker in the distance, casting long, eerie shadows across the wet pavement. The city is alive, the sound of distant traffic, the hum of life continuing without a care for the truth you've just uncovered. But it's different now. You see it differently. You walk down the street, the weight of everything pulling at you, and you know that no matter how far you walk, the truth will always be with you. You look up at the sky, the clouds still heavy with the storm that's passed. There's a sense of finality to the air, as if the storm itself has washed everything clean. But you know better. The storm hasn't passed. It's only just begun, and now you have to live with it. The truth has cracked open everything you've built, and now you have no choice but to face the consequences. And in the end, maybe that's the most terrifying truth of all, the price of knowing. The streets stretch out before you, slick with rain that reflects the glow of the city lights, casting distorted images on the wet pavement. You walk, your feet steady, but your heart heavy with each step. The truth has cracked open a door inside you, and there's no slamming it shut. The key still sits in your pocket, cold against your leg, a reminder of the moment you chose to face the past rather than run from it. It's an odd thing, how a key can hold so much weight. What did it unlock? Your guilt, your fears, or something far darker than you ever imagined? You can feel the eyes of the city on you, like they're all watching, waiting for you to break. But you don't. You can't. Not anymore. The cracks are already there. The damage has been done. The further you walk, the more you realize that you've always been running. Running from her, running from yourself, running from the truth that you've been too afraid to confront. But now, the truth has caught up with you, and it's not going anywhere. You find yourself at a crossroads, literally and figuratively. The alley on your right seems to stretch on forever, a dark path that you know all too well. It's the alley that leads to the old apartment building, the one where it all began, the one where you buried the truth. You stop at the corner and hesitate. The past is pulling at you, calling you back, but something inside you says no. The truth is here, and there's no point in revisiting it. There's nothing left there but broken memories and shattered promises. So, you keep walking, straight ahead, away from the alley, away from the place where the lies first took root. The key in your pocket feels heavier now, a constant reminder that the price of knowing has already been paid. You pull your phone from your pocket and glance at it, the screen flickering with new notifications. But you don't care about those. They don't matter anymore. What matters is the weight in your chest, the pressure in your head, the knowing, the truth. You stop at a bench in a nearby park, the night now fully settled over the city. The storm has passed, but the humidity hangs in the air, thick and heavy. You sit down, running your fingers over the key in your pocket as if it's a talisman, something that might protect you from the weight of everything. But it doesn't. The city around you moves on, people walk by, oblivious to the storm raging inside you. The sound of traffic hums in the distance, the soft shuffle of footsteps on wet pavement. It's all so ordinary, so mundane. But inside, you feel like you're coming apart. You close your eyes, leaning back against the bench. The woman's face flashes in your mind, her eyes full of cold, knowing judgment. You thought you were the hero, didn't you? You thought you were the one saving her, but she was never the victim. And now you understand. The truth is like a mirror, showing you exactly who you are, who you've been, and who you've always been. The hero is a lie. The victim is a lie. And now you have to face what's left of it. Your phone buzzes again. You ignore it, but the feeling of it still pulses in your pocket. It's a reminder that the world keeps turning, even when you're standing still. You glance at the screen once more, and this time you open the message. I told you it wasn't over. Don't think you can just walk away from this. The words sting, but they don't shock you. The truth has already broken you. The real question now is what you'll do with the pieces. The message doesn't matter, isn't? The phone buzzes again, but you don't look at it. You stand up, the weight of the key in your pocket heavier now, and begin walking once more. You don't know where you're going. You don't know what's coming next. All you know is that you can't stop moving. The past has caught up with you, and the future is waiting. You can't go back. You can only move forward. But even as you walk away from the bench, away from everything that's happened, you can't shake the feeling that she's still there, watching, waiting. The truth is out, and you can't escape it. Not now, not ever. The unraveling. You walk through the city, your footsteps echoing in the stillness of the night. The rain has stopped, but the streets are still slick, reflecting the dim lights from the occasional car passing by. You try to focus on the road ahead, but the weight in your chest is almost unbearable. The truth has cracked you open, and now every step you take feels like it's pulling you further into the darkness. The message on your phone still lingers in your mind. I told you it wasn't over. You've read it a dozen times already, and every time, the weight of it sinks deeper into you. She's not finished with you. She never will be. The streets seem endless, stretching before you like an unmarked path leading you further from your past, but closer to something else, something darker. You've spent years running from the truth, from the woman who manipulated you, from the lies you told yourself. But now that the lies are gone, all you have left is the raw, bleeding truth, and it feels like it's eating you alive. You pull the key from your pocket, turning it over in your hand, the cold metal digging into your palm like a constant reminder of everything you've lost. It was never just a key. It was your link to the past, to her, to the lies that have been consuming you for so long. But now that it's in your hand, it feels insignificant. Just a piece of metal, nothing more. The truth isn't something you can hold in your hand. You stop for a moment, standing at the edge of a bridge that overlooks the quiet river below. The water is still, almost unnaturally calm, and the reflection of the city lights dances across the surface. It's beautiful, but there's something empty about it. Just like you, you lean against the railing, looking down at the water, letting the cool breeze blow against your face. The storm has passed, but you feel like you're still caught in its aftermath. The silence around you is overwhelming, but it's not the peace you thought it would be. It's suffocating. The truth. It's heavy, like a boulder pressing down on your chest. The more you try to move, the more it holds you in place, weighing you down, keeping you from breathing freely. You think of her again, her face, the smile that once felt like safety, but now feels like a lie. You thought you knew her. You thought you understood everything about her, but you didn't. You were the one being manipulated, the one being played, and now you can't even remember who you were before the lies started. I told you it wasn't over. You whisper to yourself. The words repeat in your mind, growing louder with each beat of your heart. You close your eyes, trying to shake the image of her from your mind. But it's impossible. Her eyes, the way she looked at you, the way she always knew how to make you feel like you were the one in control, when all along, she was the one pulling the strings. The realization hits you again, sharper this time. You were never the hero. You were never the one trying to save her. You were just part of her story, a story she wrote and rewrote in her own image, always at the center, always the one in control. And you were the fool who believed it. You feel the rage start to bubble up, the frustration at the years wasted, at the lies you let yourself believe. You're angry at her. You're angry at yourself. You want to scream, to shout it all out. But the words are stuck, trapped in your throat, held down by the weight of the truth. But you can't stay here. You can't stand still. You can't keep running either. You have to face what's coming. You turn away from the bridge, your hands clenched into fists. There's a part of you that wants to go back to the lies, to the comforting veil of ignorance, to the world where you didn't know the truth. But you can't. You know you can't. You can't go back. The only way out is forward. You walk away from the bridge, the city stretching before you, a maze of unknowns. You don't know where you're going, but you know you have to keep moving. You can't stop now, not when you are this close to the end. And deep down, you know you'll never be the same. The pieces fall together. You walk through the streets, the city around you still moving, still unaware of the storm you've just weathered. The night air feels different now, charged, almost electric with the tension that settled in your chest. You thought you could outrun this. You thought you could bury the truth deep enough to make it disappear. But here you are, in the middle of the night, the weight of everything you've been avoiding crashing down on you all at once. The key still burns in your pocket, a reminder of what you've learned, what you've lost, and what you have to face now. It's not just a key anymore. It's the key to your own undoing, a symbol of everything you thought was behind you. But you can't go back. The city feels like a blur around you, the flashing lights and moving people all blending into one indistinct mass. You walk with purpose, but the steps feel heavy, weighted down by the knowledge that you've crossed a line. You can't go back to the way things were. You can't pretend you don't know anymore. You've uncovered the truth about her, but in doing so, you've uncovered something far more unsettling, the truth about yourself. She was never the victim, but neither were you. You were both trapped in the same lie, playing roles you never fully understood, until now. And now, With the pieces falling together, you finally see the whole picture. You reach a corner, your footfalls echoing in the quiet street. There's an alley ahead, one you know all too well. You don't hesitate. You turn down it, your pace quickening, but your mind racing even faster. It's time to face the final piece. You stop in front of a door, one you thought was long forgotten, but it's not. It's just as you left it. The old, faded wood, the chipped paint, the brass knocker that still gleams faintly in the dim light. The place where you thought everything ended, but in truth, it was just where everything began. You stand there for a moment, your fingers lingering on the handle, the weight of the key in your pocket growing heavier with every breath. You're not sure what's behind that door, but you know it's the last step, the last piece of the puzzle. You open the door. The room inside is dark, but the smell of old books and dust greets you immediately. The atmosphere is thick with the weight of years of secrets, hidden in plain sight. This is where everything began, the first lie, the first betrayal, the first time you both crossed a line you didn't know how to uncross. Your eyes scan the room, settling on the desk in the corner. The chair is turned away from you, but you know who's sitting there before you even see them. The woman who once seemed like a victim, but now, in the clarity of the truth, is something far more dangerous. She's waiting for you. You found it, she says, her voice low, calm, almost bored. You found what you were looking for. You step closer, your heart pounding in your chest. The weight of her words hangs in the air, but this time, you're not looking for answers. You already have them. You know the truth. You know what she did. You know what you did. But now, standing in this room, facing her, you realize something else. You're not the only one who's been lying. What do you want, you ask, your voice steady, but the question feels hollow. You already know the answer. She doesn't respond immediately. She just turns slowly in the chair, her eyes locking onto yours. For a long moment, neither of you speaks. There's no need to. You've figured it out, she says finally, her smile a ghost of what it used to be. I was never the victim. You were never the hero. We were just two people trapped in the same story. And now, it's over. You stand there, staring at her, trying to process what she's saying. But the pieces are all falling into place now. And it's all too clear. You've both been playing roles neither of you fully understood. You thought you were saving her, but in reality, she was saving you from the truth. And now, the truth is here. You're standing in the room where it all began, and you realize, with a sharp bang of clarity, that it's not over. It will never be over. You think it's over, you say, your voice stronger now, a quiet anger rising within you. It's never over. She tilts her head, studying you. No, she agrees softly. It's never over. But it doesn't matter anymore, does it? You pause, your hand gripping the doorframe as you stare at her. The finality of her words sinks in, and for a brief moment, you almost feel pity for her. But then you remember everything, the lies, the manipulation, the truth that's been buried beneath it all. This is the end of the story, the end of the game, but it's not the end of the consequences. You take one last look at her, and then you turn away. The door shuts behind you with a final click, and you step out into the night. The truth is out. The lies are shattered, and now there's only the silence that follows. The door clicks shut behind you with a finality that reverberates in the stillness of the night. The street is empty, save for the occasional flicker of a distant streetlight. The rain has stopped, but the damp air clings to your skin. each breath heavy with the weight of what you've just left behind. The silence that fills the space around you isn't peaceful. It's the silence of the truth, raw, exposed, and unforgiving. You walk down the street, your footsteps, the only sound in the empty world around you. The city seems different now. The usual noise, the hum of life, has dulled in your ears, replaced by a constant ringing, the echo of everything you've uncovered. You can still feel the weight of her gaze on you. Even though she's not there, it lingers in the air, heavy and suffocating. It's never over, is it? No, it's not. The truth doesn't let you go. Once it's out, once it's been uncovered, it doesn't allow you to forget. And no matter how far you walk, how fast you run, you'll never escape it. The key in your pocket is still there, but now it feels insignificant. Just another piece of metal. It no longer holds the same power over you. The door it once opened is closed, and the truth that was behind it is now behind you as well. But it doesn't feel like closure. It feels like a weight you'll carry for the rest of your life. You pull out your phone, but you don't need to look at it. The message from her is still there, waiting for you. You've already read it 100 times, but it's not the words that haunt you. It's the way she made you believe the lie. She made you think she was the victim, made you think you were the hero, but you were wrong. She was the one in control. She was the one who never lost. And now, you understand why she never had to fight. She never needed to. You were her pawn, and you were too blinded by your own righteousness to see it. You stop walking, standing in the middle of the street, and look around. The city sprawls before you, dark and indifferent, oblivious to the chaos that's just erupted in your life. Everything feels out of place, like you're walking through a dream, waiting for someone to wake you up. But there's no waking from this. The truth has fractured everything you thought you knew. You don't even recognize yourself anymore. The man you thought you were the hero, the protector, is gone. In his place stands someone who has finally seen the full picture, someone who can't escape what they've done. And it doesn't matter what happens next. The phone buzzes again, and this time, you don't hesitate to open the message. You already know what it says. Even before you read the words, you know what you have to do now. The words hit you like a slap, and you almost laugh. There's nothing left to do, nothing left to fix. You've played your part, and now you're done. The cold air presses in on you, and for the first time tonight, you don't feel the weight of the truth quite as much. It's there, yes, but it's no longer suffocating you. It's simply something you have to live with, and maybe that's the hardest part of all. You can't fix what's been broken. You can't undo the lies, the manipulations, the betrayals, but you can walk away from it. You can leave it behind and try to rebuild what's left. But the hardest truth to face is that you don't know if it's even possible. You turn and start walking again, your pace slower this time, the weight of the truth no longer dragging you forward. It's still there, a constant presence, but now it feels less like a chain and more like a shadow, something that will always follow you, but never fully consume you. The night is quiet, the city stretching out before you, filled with the promise of tomorrow. But as you walk, you know there's no escaping the past. You can only move forward, and you'll never forget what you've learned. The burden of moving forward. The night feels heavier now, as if the weight of your decisions, your actions, and the shattered truths are pressing down on you from all sides. The city is alive around you, a distant hum of traffic, the soft shuffle of footsteps echoing in the distance. But it feels like you're in a different world altogether. You're disconnected from everything that once mattered. The story you've been living, the lies you told yourself, They've all unraveled. And now there's only you and the truth you can't escape. You walk through the streets, your pace slow, measured, as though you're still trying to piece together what just happened, what you've just uncovered. You thought you knew everything. You thought you had it all figured out. But now, the ground beneath you feels unstable. Every step is a reminder that you're no longer the person you were before. The air feels colder now, the sharp bite of the wind cutting through your clothes. But it's not the chill of the weather that's making you shiver. It's the weight of the truth, the realization that no matter what you do, no matter where you go, it will always follow you. Your phone buzzes again, pulling you from your thoughts. You glance at it, but you don't open the message. There's no need to. You know what it will say. You know what she wants. She's never going to let you forget. You turn down a narrow side street, the lights flickering in the distance, casting long shadows that stretch along the wet pavement. The city feels distant, detached, like it's just a backdrop to the chaos inside your head. You thought you could walk away from all of this, but now, with every step, you realize that you can't. The truth is something you can't outrun. You pass by familiar places, but they don't feel familiar anymore. The cafe you used to visit every morning, the bookstore where you spent hours lost in fiction, all of it seems far away now, as though you've been living in a world of illusions. You stop at the corner, staring down the empty street ahead of you. There's nothing special about it, but somehow it feels like the crossroads of your life. You've crossed a line you can't uncross. The truth has been laid bare, and there's no going back to the way things were. You think about her again, the woman who made you believe the lies, the one who manipulated you into thinking you were the hero. She wasn't the victim, but neither were you. You were both trapped in a web of deceit, and now you're standing here, lost in the aftermath. You know what you have to do next. There's no more running, no more hiding behind the facade of who you thought you were. The truth is too loud now, and it's not going to quiet down. But the question remains, what now? You think about calling her, reaching out, trying to fix it all, but you know it won't work. The damage is done. The truth has cracked the foundation of everything you thought you knew, and you can't fix that. You glance down at your phone again, but you don't open the message. There's no need. You've already heard what she has to say. She doesn't want your apologies. She doesn't want anything from you anymore. All she wants is to remind you of the price of the lies, and now you're paying it. You turn and walk away, your steps slower this time. You don't know where you're headed, but it doesn't matter. The city is no longer your refuge. The people around you, the world moving in its oblivious rhythm, it's all a distant hum. You're caught in the quiet aftermath of a storm that's torn everything apart, and now you have to rebuild. The key in your pocket is still there, but it no longer feels like a lifeline. It's a burden, a symbol of everything you've lost. You stop in front of a familiar building, one you didn't expect to return to. The windows are dark, the door locked, but you know this place. You've been here before, and now it's the place where you have to face the final truth. You reach for the door, your hand trembling, and you know, for the first time, that you're ready to face whatever comes next. The final decision. You stand at the entrance, the door in front of you, a final barrier between the past and whatever future awaits on the other side. The rain begins to fall again, a light drizzle that coats the streets, turning everything a shade darker. The sound of it is comforting in its own way, a steady rhythm that drowns out the thoughts swirling in your head. But even that doesn't seem to calm you. What now? The question hangs in the air like smoke, something that can't be shaken. You've faced the truth. You've come to terms with what you've done, and what you've become. You've walked away from her, from the lies, but they followed you, settling in your bones. The door stands in front of you. Its wood, weathered and worn, much like the life you've been living. It doesn't look like anything special. In fact, it looks ordinary, just another door in the city. But to you, it feels like the entryway to a place you thought you had left behind. You reach for the door handle and pause. There's no turning back now. This isn't just a physical door. It's a metaphor for everything that's been left unresolved. All the moments you've avoided, the lies you've buried, are waiting for you inside. With a deep breath, you whisper, "Open it." The familiar creak of the door sounds in the stillness of the night, and for a moment, you feel like you're stepping back in time. But the room in front of you isn't the same. The dust has settled on everything. The furniture is unchanged, but the air is thick with the weight of what happened here. You feel like a stranger in your own memories. She's gone, but the feeling of her presence is still there, lingering in the corners, in the cracks of the floorboards, the walls. The very space that once held your secrets are now silent witnesses to your unraveling. You step further inside, your shoes clicking against the wooden floor. The room feels colder now, darker somehow. You run a hand over the table, feeling the years of dust and neglect that have settled here. It's as though the place itself is waiting for something. For you, you can't keep living like this, caught between the lies and the truth. You've known that for a while, but now it's undeniable. You have to face it. You can't keep hiding from the fact that you were never who you thought you were. The truth has cracked you open, and now you're left to pick up the pieces. The key in your pocket feels heavier now. Its metal cool against your skin. It's not just a key anymore. It's a reminder of everything you've lost and everything you still need to confront. But the question remains, what now? You stare at the room, at the place where it all began, and realize that it's not just about her anymore. It's about you. The truth you've been running from for so long. The past that refuses to let you go. You take another step forward, your gaze falling on the worn photographs on the wall, pictures of a time you thought was better, a time before the cracks started to show. You can almost hear her voice, her laugh, but it's distant now, just an echo of what once was. You walk further into the room, the weight of everything pressing in on you. You've spent so long thinking that you could control this, thinking that you could fix what was broken. But the truth is, it wasn't broken in the first place. It was just waiting for you to see it. The woman was never the victim. And now, you realize you weren't the hero. You were just a man caught in a lie, trying to play a role that never belonged to you. But this isn't the end. Not yet. The truth has cracked the walls, and now you have to rebuild. You don't know how. You don't know what's next. But for the first time, you feel like you can breathe again. The key slips from your pocket, clattering onto the floor. You pick it up, but this time it feels different. It's no longer a symbol of the past, but a symbol of the future you have to create for yourself. Without the lies, you take a deep breath, standing in the center of the room, surrounded by memories, by ghosts of the past. But now, it's time to move forward. The door to the past has closed, and with it, the chapter of your life that you never fully understood. But the next chapter, that's yours to write, rebuilding the pieces. The key in your hand feels cold again, but this time, it's not just the chill of metal, it's the weight of realization settling in, the understanding that you're standing on the edge of something new. The past has been dismantled, scattered like broken glass at your feet. And now, all you can do is rebuild. You take one more look around the room, the place that once felt like home, the place that held your memories, your lies, your pain, but it doesn't feel like home anymore. It's empty now, just four walls that bear witness to everything you've hidden. And now, they're empty of everything but the truth. The weight of the key in your hand reminds you that you're not just unlocking a door. You're unlocking something inside yourself, the part of you that's been buried, the part that's been too afraid to face what's been hidden. You drop the key on the table and turn to leave the room. There's no point in staying here anymore. You've lived in the shadows long enough. The walls that held you back are crumbling, and all that's left is the open air, the empty space ahead of you. But even as you step back into the hallway, you feel a pull, a tug in your chest that keeps you tethered to this place, to this moment. It's not just about walking away, it's about making peace with it, with everything you've done, everything you've ignored. And it's not easy. You've been running for so long that standing still feels impossible. The world outside feels strange now, distant, as if you've been in a dream and just woke up. The air is too thin, the light too bright. You've been hiding in the dark for so long that the real world feels almost overwhelming. But that's the price, isn't it? The price of knowing the truth, the price of understanding that you can't go back. You reach for the door handle, but stop. You hesitate, taking a deep breath before you open it, your eyes locking onto the space beyond. And then you step outside. The night air hits you like a slap, cold and sharp, but it's refreshing. It's real. It's alive. You look up at the sky, and for the first time in what feels like forever, you can see the stars. They're faint, but they're there, scattered across the inky blackness above you. It's a new world, and it's waiting for you. You walk down the street again, but this time, it feels different. The weight on your chest has lessened, and you can breathe a little easier. You know it's not over. The road ahead won't be simple. There are still scars, still pieces of you that need to be healed. But at least now, you're not hiding from them. The past doesn't own you anymore. You can't undo the things you've done, the mistakes you've made, but you can move forward. You can face the consequences, but you don't have to be ruled by them. You can choose your own path now. The city moves around you, the bustle of life continuing, oblivious to the storm that has passed through you. People walk by, some lost in their own thoughts, others wrapped up in their own dramas. And for the first time, you feel like you're just one of many. You've never felt more ordinary. And yet, in this moment, it's exactly what you need. You're not the hero. You're not the villain. You're just a person who has finally seen the truth. The world is still the same, but you're not. You take a deep breath, letting it fill your lungs, and for the first time in a long time, you feel something like peace. It's small, fleeting, but it's there. The weight of the past has loosened its grip on you, but there's still a long road ahead. The lies are gone, but they've left their mark. And now, it's time to rebuild. You don't know where you're going, but for the first time, that's okay. You don't need to know. You just need to keep moving. And with each step, the pieces start to fall into place. A new beginning. The night stretches on, but it doesn't feel endless. It feels like the first step towards something else. The city around you pulses with life, but for the first time, you're no longer just a spectator. The world is moving, yes, but you're moving with it, not against it. You face the truth, and while that doesn't mean you have all the answers, it means you're free to choose what comes next. You walk with purpose now. The echo of your footsteps no longer filled with doubt. You've left behind the broken photograph, the lies, and the dark corners of your mind that kept you trapped. You've come to terms with the truth of who you were and who you're becoming. The city feels larger now. The streets are open. The alleyways no longer closed paths but possibilities. The weight in your chest has been replaced with something lighter, something that feels like the first breath of air after being underwater. You walk past places you used to know well, the familiar stores, the faces that seem to blur in your peripheral vision. The city hasn't changed. It's still the same. It's you who's different. You stop at a park bench and sit, taking a moment to collect yourself. The weight of the key in your pocket is still there, but it's no longer a burden. It's just a part of your story now, a marker of where you've been and where you're going. You take it out, running your fingers over it for a moment before slipping it back into your pocket. You don't need it anymore. You've unlocked the door. For the first time in a long time, you feel a sense of quiet in your mind. The whirlwind of thoughts, of guilt, of lies, it's all calmed. You can hear the world around you again, the soft rustling of leaves in the trees, the distant laughter of people walking by. You don't feel so isolated. The walls you built inside yourself are still there, but they're no longer keeping you in. They're keeping everything else out. You know there will be moments when the truth feels heavy again. You know there will be days when the lies still call to you, when the weight of everything threatens to drown you. But now, you have a choice. You can face those moments with the understanding that you've already crossed the hardest line. You've broken the chains. You hear a distant hum of music from a nearby cafe, the soft clinking of cups and laughter mixing in the air. You smile softly to yourself. It's a simple thing, but for the first time in a long while, it feels like enough. The city around you continues to hum, oblivious to the personal revolution that's just taken place inside you. You wonder if anyone else feels this way, if anyone else has gone through what you've gone through, walked through the wreckage of their own life, only to emerge on the other side, scarred but stronger. You stand up from the bench, the familiar sensation of uncertainty creeping back in. But this time, it's different. It's not a weight, it's a possibility. You glance at your phone, the silent device that's been buzzing in your pocket, but you don't feel the need to look at it anymore. The message from her. It's irrelevant now. She's no longer the one holding the key to your story. You are. You slip the phone back into your pocket, take one last look at the street ahead of you, and begin to walk again. There's no clear destination, no plan, but that's the point, isn't it? The future doesn't need to be mapped out. It just needs to be lived. You've stopped looking for answers in other people. You've stopped searching for validation in lies. You found what you were looking for, and now you know what to do with it. You walk into the night, feeling the cool breeze against your face, letting the world pull you forward. The future is wide open, and for the first time, you're not afraid of what it holds, because you've learned something that will stay with you forever. The only way out is through. Moving through the dark, the night sky above you is a deep velvet, dotted with faint stars, but there's no light from the moon. It's a stillness you haven't felt in years. The quiet of the city, stripped down to its rawest form. The hum of life is still there, but it's distant now. It's like you're on the edge of something, looking out from a space you've never been, from a point where the past is no longer leading you. You don't know where you're going, and that's okay. The road ahead is unfamiliar, untrodden by your steps, but it feels like the first real path you've ever walked. You've always had your eyes set on some far-off destination, but now you realize that it was never about getting there. It was about the journey to this moment. the choices you've made, the truths you've faced. The key in your pocket remains, but it's almost an afterthought now. Its weight doesn't bind you the way it used to. You're not carrying the past anymore. You're carrying the freedom to choose what comes next. And for the first time, that feels like an enormous gift. You pass familiar places, the ones you once thought you could never escape from. The dim lit cafe you frequented, the bookstore that used to be your safe haven, it all feels different now. You can still see them for what they were, but the memories of who you were when you visited them have faded. You've outgrown them. You stop in front of a small park, its bench inviting you to rest. There's no rush, no deadline. You sit down slowly, feeling the cool night air settle against your skin. The city buzzes on in the background, but you're in the eye of the storm now. In this moment, everything feels still, peaceful, even. You breathe deeply, letting the moment sink in. You've spent your life trying to fix things, to control everything that went wrong. But this is different. You don't need to fix it anymore. You've let go. You've walked away from the lies. It's not that the truth is any less painful now. It's just that it's no longer the weight you're carrying. It's simply a part of who you are, a part of the story that has finally found its resolution. You open your phone, the familiar screen lighting up in the dark, but this time you don't feel the compulsion to respond to the messages, to check the notifications. The digital world that once dictated your every move feels distant, unnecessary now. The outside world is just noise, and you realize that for the first time, you've stopped listening to it. You think back to her, to the woman you thought was a victim, the one you tried so hard to save, who was always a step ahead of you, manipulating the narrative in her favor. But you don't feel anger anymore. You don't feel hate. You just feel done. She's a part of your story. Yes, but she's not the whole story. You are. You push off the bench and stand up, stretching out the tension in your limbs. The night is still young, and you've got nothing but time. You walk back into the street, letting your steps guide you. As you walk, your mind begins to drift. Not to her, not to the lies or the broken pieces of the past, but to the future, to what's ahead. You don't know what tomorrow will bring, but for the first time, you're okay with that. The uncertainty doesn't scare you anymore. You've learned to accept the unknown. There's a certain beauty in that, in embracing the idea that not everything has to be figured out. Not every story has to have an ending tied up neatly. You walk for hours, letting the rhythm of your feet against the pavement carry you forward. And as you walk, the city becomes more than just a backdrop. It becomes part of your story, part of your new beginning. You pass familiar streets, streets that used to feel like traps, but now they're just streets. The world around you is not the same, but neither are you. The key in your pocket feels like it belongs to someone else now, a version of you that isn't here anymore. The man who was tangled in lies, who couldn't face the truth, who didn't believe that he could ever escape. That man is gone, and the truth, it's here, but it's no longer a burden. It's just a part of you. You stop at another bench, this one under a streetlight, and for the first time tonight, you allow yourself to relax. The weight in your chest has lifted, and in its place is something different, something lighter, something more freeing. The night is still, but you know that it won't last forever. The world will keep turning, people will keep moving, and you will keep walking, because you finally understand the journey is never over. But in the end, it's not the destination that matters. It's the steps you take along the way, the calm after the storm, The park is quiet now, save for the rustling of leaves and the occasional distant car passing by. The city's pulse still beats softly, but here, in this moment, it feels like you've stepped out of time. The chaos, the lies, the whirlwind of emotions, it's all somewhere far behind you now. The bench beneath you creaks softly as you shift your weight, settling into a more comfortable position. The air is cool, but not harsh, a slight breeze ruffling your hair, reminding you that, for once, things are calm. For the first time in years, you feel like you're simply existing, without the weight of the past hanging over your head. You close your eyes for a moment, letting the stillness of the night wash over you. The rush of thoughts and memories that used to flood your mind has quieted. The guilt, the fear, the shame, they're still there, but they don't have the same hold on you anymore. You've let go. You take a deep breath, inhaling the cool night air, and for the first time in a long time, it feels like you can breathe deeply without hesitation. The weight of it all has lifted. You've acknowledged your mistakes. You've confronted your own darkness, and while that's not an easy thing, it's a necessary one. Your eyes flutter open, the world around you coming back into focus, and you realize there's nothing more to prove. The past is done, the mistakes are made, the apologies unsaid, and the people who have walked away from you, whether by your choice or theirs, are no longer in control of your future. You are. You stand up slowly, your body feeling light, almost weightless, like you've shed something heavy that you didn't even realize you were carrying. The city still hums around you, the sound of life continuing without you. The thought no longer bothers you. There's freedom in that. With a steady hand, you reach into your pocket, and for the first time, you pull out the key. You look at it, the smooth metal reflecting the dim light, but it no longer means what it once did. It's not a symbol of the past. It's not a reminder of what you can't escape. It's simply a piece of metal now, a part of your story that's been completed, not a tool to open any doors. You drop it into the river, watching as it sinks beneath the surface, disappearing into the depths. For the first time, you feel a sense of finality. The key is gone, the door it opened is closed, and what remains now is only what you make of it. You take a few more steps forward, your pace slow, steady. As you walk down the street, there's no destination in mind, just the motion of moving forward. The sound of your footsteps fills the silence, but it's a peaceful silence now, not one filled with regret or uncertainty. You pass through the familiar places, but they feel different now. The streets aren't traps anymore. They're just paths, roads you've traveled before. But now, you walk them with a sense of calm. There's no rush. There's no destination you have to reach. You think about her for a moment. The woman who was never the victim. The woman who controlled the narrative, who played you like a pawn. But the thought doesn't linger. You've let it go. You've seen the truth. And now, there's nothing she can hold over you. The story she wrote doesn't need to be rewritten. It's over. And now, it's your story. The night stretches out before you. And while you don't know what comes next, there's something freeing about it. The uncertainty doesn't scare you anymore. It's just another part of the journey. You stop in front of a cafe, the warm light spilling out through the windows, the smell of fresh coffee calling to you. It's a simple thing, but it feels right. You've been running from your own life for so long, hiding from the truth, hiding from the quiet moments that remind you who you really are. But now, you're ready to face them. You push open the door, the warm light greeting you as you step inside. There's a sense of peace in the air here, the kind of quiet that's not suffocating but comforting. The weight of the world feels a little lighter, and for the first time in years, you feel like you belong in it. The barista greets you with a smile, and you order a coffee, watching the steam rise from the cup as it's placed in front of you. It's a small moment, but in it, you find a kind of satisfaction you didn't know you needed. You take a sip, letting the warmth fill you, and for the first time tonight, you let yourself smile. There's still a long road ahead. The truth you've uncovered will always be a part of you. But now, you know that it doesn't have to define you. You've let go of the lies. You've faced the consequences. And now, the future is yours to shape. For the first time, you feel free. The echo of freedom. The warmth of the coffee lingers on your tongue. The bittersweet taste a contrast to the clarity you're feeling inside. It's strange how something so simple, so ordinary, can be the catalyst for a moment of true freedom. The city buzzes around you, oblivious to the transformation taking place in your own mind. But you feel it, deep down, in the stillness of your chest. The truth, the weight of everything that has passed, is no longer a chain holding you in place. It's a part of you, but it doesn't control you anymore. You glance out the window, watching the pedestrians pass by, each person lost in their own world, unaware of the storm you've weathered. And for a moment, you wonder if any of them feel like you do now, like they've finally crossed some invisible threshold, like they've faced their own demons and come out the other side. But then you realize it doesn't matter. What matters is that you found your own peace, your own clarity. You've walked away from the lies, the manipulation, and the games that once ruled your life. You've seen the truth for what it is, and you've embraced it. For the first time in years, you feel like you're here, not lost in the echoes of the past, not searching for redemption in places that don't exist. You are here, and this moment, this quiet, unremarkable moment, feels like the start of something new. You finish your coffee, the warmth spreading through you, and leave the cafe. The night is still young, but you're not rushing. You're walking now, each step lighter than the last. The past has shaped you, but it doesn't own you. The future is full of uncertainty, but for once, that uncertainty doesn't frighten you. It's funny, isn't it? How for so long you believed that facing the truth would shatter you. You thought that seeing the full picture would break you into pieces you could never put back together. But instead, it's done the opposite. It's liberated you. It's given you the freedom to choose what comes next, to write the next chapter without the weight of the past weighing you down. You pass by familiar places, but you don't linger. You know them, but they no longer define you. The city, the streetlights, the sounds of distant conversations, all of it feels distant now, like the background of a story you're no longer part of. You're still here, still moving, but you're not lost in the noise anymore. As you walk, you reach a quiet part of the city, an area you haven't visited in years. The street is lined with old buildings, their facades weathered by time, but they don't seem out of place. They feel like a natural part of the city, like they've always been here, just waiting for you to notice them. You stop in front of one of the buildings, the old stone structure looking worn but dignified. There's a small plaque by the door, but you can't read it from here. You don't need to. This building represents something for you, something important. You can't explain it yet, but you know it's significant. It's the place where you finally come to terms with yourself, the place where you've let go of everything that held you back. You walk up the steps and push open the door. It's quiet inside, the air cool and still, but it feels safe here. This is the moment where you stop pretending, where you stop hiding from the world, from yourself. You step forward into the unknown, but this time you're not afraid. You're ready. You know there's no going back, but there's no need to go back. The past has been dealt with. You've faced it, and now the only thing left to do is move forward. The door closes behind you, and for the first time in your life, you let yourself feel what it's like to be truly free. The unwritten path. The door behind you shuts with a soft click, and for a brief moment, you stand in the dark, letting the silence settle around you. You've crossed a threshold. You've left the weight of the past behind. But now, in this unfamiliar space, you feel a new weight, the weight of possibility. You take a step forward, your footsteps muffled against the old wooden floor. The place you've entered is small, almost humble, but there's a feeling of belonging here. It's not much, but it's yours, and for the first time, it feels like enough. You glance around, your eyes adjusting to the dim light. The walls are bare, but there's something welcoming in the emptiness. It's the canvas of your new beginning, a space that has no history but the one you're about to create. The air smells of dust and old books, the kind of smells that feels familiar and comforting. There's a desk in the corner, a chair beside it, and a small window that lets in just enough light to see the world outside. But it's the room itself that matters now, the space where you can finally breathe without the burden of past mistakes. You move toward the desk and sit down, your hands resting on the smooth surface. The key is still in your pocket, but it no longer feels like something that ties you to the past. It's just an object now, a reminder of what you've left behind. The world outside continues to spin, but in here, in this quiet space, you can finally hear yourself think. For so long, you've been drowning in the noise of the lies, of the guilt, of the expectations placed upon you by others. But here, there's only peace. Here, there's only the sound of your own breath. You lean back in the chair, your eyes falling on the window. The city outside is still there, bustling, alive, but it no longer feels overwhelming. It feels manageable, like a place you can exist in without feeling consumed by it. The truth has been laid bare, the past has been acknowledged, and now it's time to move forward. You don't know exactly what comes next. There's no roadmap, no set path, but you're not afraid of the uncertainty anymore. In fact, you welcome it. The unknown doesn't scare you, it excites you. You rise from the desk and walk to the window, looking out at the city below. The streetlights cast a soft glow on the pavement, and you watch as people walk by, each one lost in their own story, their own world. You don't know them, but for the first time, you realize they don't need to know you either. You are just one of many in this vast, chaotic world. But that's okay. You've spent so long trying to carve out your own meaning, trying to control the narrative of your life. But now, you understand that it's not about control. It's about living. You step back from the window, a smile tugging at the corners of your lips. The burden of the past no longer weighs you down. It's not a chain anymore. It's just a part of who you are, a chapter in the story that you've already lived. And now, you get to decide what happens next. You walk back to the desk, and for the first time in years, you pick up a pen. You sit down, the blank sheet of paper in front of you, and you begin to write. It's your story, your life, your path, and this time, you're not running from it. You're writing it. The truth has set you free, and now it's time to let the rest of the world see it. End of script. Sleep well and watch your back.